Hello everyone, and welcome to the FPRL Season 4 intro. Joined alongside me is Omi, like always, your Tier 1 commentator for Season 3, and we'll be continuing on for Season 4 with us. Well, hopefully at least. Welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, getting into the Season 4 intro now that we had. First of all, going to talk about a bit of Season 3, what happened. I know you hadn't been on comms the entire season,
Yeah,
but you were here for quite a lot of it.
yeah. Every
Um,
race in Austria.
yeah, everything is in Austria. I'm pretty sure. Can you give me one sec? I don't know if they can actually hear us. So I think I might have it on the wrong thing. That should work now. Yes, that should be working now. But first of all, we'll talk about season three. What happened then? You had Tristan winning, obviously, in taking it in Abu Dhabi. Didn't even need to go to the final race. You can unmute, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah. An excellent season he was able to put on, and we can say a deserved champion for this season.
Yeah, two-time
Love.
champion now. So it seems like the youngster is, well, I would say on for the history books in FPRL, at least for now. As well as that, he had Noah trying to put up his fight to stay within the championship battle and even maybe get the win. It was close, but not close enough, it seemed.
Yeah. So
With a 53-point
look.
difference, he couldn't do anything about it. As well as that, Harrison hadn't been there, well, basically hadn't been scoring since after Monza when he took the P2 after some penalties had been applied. When you had also had Waldo's first win there, but he was still able to manage P3 in this championship, even after missing out what, 3 races or so, not even scoring in 4. But the dominance in Spain, I would say, had led him basically to win P3 off the Triasten pairing of Senna and Carlo, only separated by 1 point in the end.
Yeah, they were very close together and a very consistent pairing they were last season.
Yeah, very consistent. To say the least. I'm trying to figure out if I can fix something. You can talk away for now, though.
Yeah, so the Aston Martins, they were able to get themselves a good result in the constructors. My memory is completely gone, but we will get onto it. I think it was second or third in constructors, but as I said, we will get onto that in a bit. But a very consistent team they were, and they were able to pull off a good season together. So
Yeah, they were. I have a slight issue at the moment. You're gonna have to give me 1 second due to I accidentally closed the tab. There we go. Got it back up now. Just checking one thing. Can you see the cursor? I don't think you can. Carlo, there is no car to show. I don't not know what you're on. If there was a car to show, I think I would show it already. But yeah, anything else you would like to add about season three?
Not for now. No.
I mean, yeah, it was a good race. Well, good race in the end, especially at Brazil. He had Kerbo taking his second win of the season, even only racing 3 races. But as well as
Yeah.
that, you had other things happening, such as Noah taking, I think it was 2 wins out of his 3 that he has now. You've got Harrison taking his first win. You'd Archie winning in Baku. Even after 3 seasons, he was able to take his win. FMR at the start of the season had taken the win in Silverstone, and then who took Imola? I don't remember.
Imola.
It was the race before you started doing comms, but I cannot remember who won.
I think I might have been actually a reserve in that race. I do remember Imola somewhere. Hmm.
Yeah, I remember Imola. I just do not remember who won. But yeah, calendar will be shown soon enough. We'll get to it. But for now, we're still going to talk about season 3. We'll go into interviews and then we'll go to the rest of the season 4 part of it. I would say if people want to do some interviews, go into the VC of General and I'll pull you in. And then it would be a lot easier for me, especially since I don't have to edit perms, then I can just completely move you over. But as well as that, you then had your Constructors' Championship, as shown at the moment. AlphaTauri did win that, and I'm pretty sure they won it. Well, it was easy for them. 109-point difference. Haas 162 then, and then that battle for P3 still ongoing, even into Brazil, between Haas, Red Bull, McLaren. Well, my team, McLaren, didn't exactly get the position we wanted to, but we were able to score good enough points to secure the P5. And then again, you had Alfa Romeo in P6, Williams P7, Ferrari P8, Alpine P9, and then Mercedes, but all the way in P10, didn't show up to 4 races and barely scored in the rest of the races that they did.
Yep. Mercedes not having a good season there, and they'll be they'll be hoping for better in the new season.
Yeah, new season to come, they'll be hoping to get a better result than last season at least. And I've just seen now we've hit our follower goal. We have just received another follower. Who is the person I did follow? It was Agon, one of the new drivers for this season. So I'll end that go and I'll start a new one up now. We're not doing a Red Bull, I've already said. Intro is going to come a little bit later. For now, I'm going to still talk about season 3. But then your tier 2 as well, yourself or me. You did win that one. So,
Yeah, your champion.
yeah, season 3 tier 2 champion. Would have done an interview for you, but there had been no France race, so we couldn't exactly do that.
Yep, couldn't do that, but obviously a very close championship it was, as you can see.
Yeah, close between you, Pisky, and Josie. Um, you and Pisky both taking 2 wins apiece, and then Josie only taking 1, but was on the podium 5 times out of
Yep.
I think it was 10 or so races that we were able to do. Sorry, it was actually 11 that we were able to do due to it. But other than that, then you had your Constructors' Championship for them. AlphaTauri were easily able to seal it off with all A racing at the start of the season. Was just securing a maximum points, especially in the likes of Baku and Silverstone. being able to take so many points.
Yeah. So AlphaTauri, they're winning it by 15 points, and obviously all thanks to Ollie, who did move up to tier 1 for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, it didn't exactly work out though for Ferrari. Yes, they got some more points towards the end of the season, Singapore onwards, but the high came in Monza when Kerber was actually racing for them as a reserve. So, yeah. But I think people want us to move on now.
Yeah.
We are not Red Bull. I'll remind you of that. We are not Red Bull. Thank you very much. But, as I do say, we will move on depending on what you want now. Depending on what the viewers want, I will give. Ignore the background, please. That is just my mum. I have tried to mute to block it out, but didn't exactly work. Awards next. I would say we go into the rule changes that we have lined up for season 4. We'll go back to this now. Well, I'm going to turn into George Russell for a bit and show a PowerPoint. So first of all, we'll start with the rule changes that we're going to have. There are 4 changes, especially that need to be added. It's readying up before the ping from your tier coordinator will give you a 5-second time penalty. We keep seeing drivers readying up
Yeah.
and others not being able to get their setups, their strategies, their fuel ready. So we thought in the end it would be easier to do it this way and just completely cut it all out. You can't ready up anymore before your ping. If you're caught doing it, you will be given a 5-second time penalty. If you retire, you'll be given 2 penalty points. So I wouldn't try to do that very often because then that's all going to build up quite a lot. Then you've got the point system slightly changing. It'll be on the next slide of what those changes are. Just a couple of the points higher up in the table. So such as P1 to 5, I'm pretty sure is the ones that we changed, but then like 6 to 10 aren't really changed at all. And I've accidentally just opened a tab and I have not meant to open. We'll close that now. And then using dries on a wet track and vice versa, wet tires on a dry track will be giving you a 10-second time penalty. That is also unless the track is drying up or say getting damp due to, as you've seen, so if you watch PSGL, especially PSGL F1, because all the other tiers are not allowed, on the PC side, you are allowed to go out on inters, especially if it's a dry track, to make sure all your wheel settings, your pedal settings are right. So you don't exactly want them to be broken going into a race, especially when it's that what is it called? I can't remember the name at the moment. It's that competitive. You don't want to be actually going into the back of someone because your pedal has had a little bit of a clip on it. If that makes any sense to anyone. And then the other change that we do have is the penalty point system. It will be getting a major revamp. It will all be in the rulebook and it'll be shown in a couple of minutes after the stream. I just need to reset it because I haven't had time to do it yet. Anything you would like to say about those, Umi?
Well, the first one definitely readying up. It's a will definitely be needed because I do remember I think in the final few races when there was always someone who was readying up before they were asked to, and so obviously a very needed thing as drivers weren't able to get their setups and basically all that you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, especially in Mexico when we had that sprint race. Yes, the race eventually did get voided due to desync, which we couldn't have done anything about at the time. We had realised people were readying up really quickly. I don't remember who it was exactly. I think it may have been Jaden or Bill. Don't remember exactly though. I'm not trying to point any fingers at anyone, but I will just name those two names because I don't think they were the two that did it first. I think there was someone else before. I just don't remember exactly. But it's just if you go, especially since we don't have Park Ferme on, if you go from a wet quality session to a dry race and you haven't had time to load your new setup on, that's just going to hinder you massively throughout the race and you won't be able to change it at all. So that's why we've just decided readying up early will get you a time penalty. You'll be given at least maybe a minute or two. It's kind of like WO. You get a couple minute break between as well. And it just works out easier for commentators as well, especially me and you. We will get a little bit of time to talk about what's just happened in quality, what we're expecting for the race, etc. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
As well as that, not the penalty point system, the point system change. That is what the new system is changing to from now on. P1 will get you 20 points, P2 is 16, P3 is 12, P4 is 10, P5 will be 8, P6 will be 6, P7 is 4, P8 is 3, P9 is 2, and P10 will be 1 point. The fastest lap, if you're inside the top 10, will get you a point as well. And pole position has changed from those 5 points down to 1 point, and the rest of the positions in the quali will no longer score points. That is going to be something you're going to have to memorize, though.
Yeah. I might just print that exact screen, like the exact screen you have there. I might just print it.
Oh, I'm going to screenshot this later and send it in the chat because I cannot be arsed to type it out again. Took me long enough to do that. I'm not doing it again. As well as that, Flame, we already had a fastest lap point in. You just hadn't realised it. You only got a fastest lap if you were in the main race. It wasn't the sprint. Speaking of sprint, those points are changing as well. That will be uploaded to the server soon. Just don't have enough time to do it right now. I completely forgot to make a slide about it, to be honest. But I think this is the point that everyone is going to be excited for. It's the award time.
Drum rolls.
Yeah, I've got this one up already. Everyone else cannot see what it is. For some reason, my Chrome is also slightly broken, but it is fine. So, first award would have been Race of the Season. No driver can win this, obviously, but it was decided by you guys. And in the end, we all decided that it would have been Brazil taking most of the votes out of the 5 that you could have voted for, being Jeddah, Zandvoort, France, Singapore, and Brazil. Brazil eventually winning this. I maybe would have gone for Zandvoort or Jeddah, but I think Brazil chopped it off.
Yeah, Brazil was a very chaotic, exciting race, and it was the end of the season as well. Gave us an absolute banger to end the season. So, I guess I guess a good race it was, an excellent race, and a good way to end the season.
Yeah, a good way to end the season, especially with Brazil, one of the fan favourites in F1, being the finale of so many seasons so far throughout F1 in general. I mean, you especially had 2013 Brazil. I don't think it was finale. Sorry, not 2013, 2012, when Seb took his third championship. and as well as Schumacher letting him past, which I would have said is a nice way to wind off the career of a 7-time world champion, letting the youngster through to take a third championship.
Absolutely.
And then again, I wouldn't have said 2010, but I would have said 2007, 2008 especially. Between 1 point separation in 2007 to a Brazilian thinking he's won his home race and won the championship. So, well, yeah, I mean, many people like Brazil for the nature of the circuit. Maybe not for its weather all the time, but the nature of the circuit, it is a historic one.
Yeah.
Any words
If
about that one?
favorite.
Any words?
Not really. Yeah, I think we've already got through most of it, so I guess we can move on now.
I would say the stream is not in 2040, it's in 1080. I don't know what you're on about. But it should be in 1080 at least. I don't know how to change that. I'll see if I can, but it shouldn't be. I'm not too sure. It's in a. It is in 1080. I know that. Source is not 240. Thank you very much. But we'll go on to the next one if I can remember. It was Rookie of the Season. You had 4 people to vote for. You had Flame, you had Harrison, you had Charlie, and you had Kerwo. And in the end, it was decided it would be Flame to win Rookie of the Season. But the way he had his season going out, joining in Jeddah to take 3 podiums out of the 6 races that he had been in, was a pretty good season for him, I'd say. Being his teammate as well, I kind of have to be a little bit biased, but I can't go too far with it.
Yeah, but a lot of races was doing really well, and I guess a deserved rookie of the season.
I want to thank Colin Bona for absolutely nothing. Nice. That is very kind, especially to your mate. Um, if anyone could tell me how to upload, not upload, update the stream quality, please tell me in DMs soon, because I set it on to be right, and for some reason it's not working. So I would say he had a good season overall, especially like sort of Harrison being dominant in Spain with a pole, a sprint win, and a win. I would have maybe gone for him, Charlie as well, having a win in Jeddah. Wasn't able to go on to win any others. But Kerbo taking 2 wins out of like 3 or 4 that he raced. Raf, do not worry,
Yeah.
you have not missed too much. But we'll move on from Rookie of the Season and we'll go to the best qualifier. I quite frankly don't remember who I put down as the votes, but we'll say it now anyway. And the winner of that would have been Flame again.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think he took a couple poles when he was racing. It was between him, Harrison, Raf, and Tristan. So, I mean, he was pretty dominant. If I am right, there is a total of 6 awards, won the third one at the moment. So we're halfway through
Yeah.
this. But any words on that? Because you got to see a better POV than I did during quali. You got to see everyone.
Yeah, so fast in qualifying. His laps were fantastic, and it was always that he left it like sometimes he obviously just went a tiny bit at the beginning, but like most of it was like late at the end, which made it even more exciting and I guess fully deserved. Very fast in qualifying, and yeah,
Yeah, he
nothing else to
was.
say to be honest. But an epic job in qualifying.
Yeah, I would have maybe gone for someone like Sphinx in Abu Dhabi, his debut race, taking pole position after only doing a single lap because he could not get another valid lap in due to it. So I would have said that was completely well done, as well as that to Raf and into quali in Brazil was able to take pole position there. So that's why he also got 21.4% of the votes. I don't remember what the percentages are exactly. I think there may have been like 3 votes or something, but I cannot remember because I can't do math off the top of my head, especially if it's percentages and it's not 100 votes. So, but anyway, we'll move on to the best comebacks. This would have been comebacks from the starting position from them. Actually, I don't remember which it was, right? But we'll move on anyway. And it was the best comebacks quality position to race position. And the winner of that one was Senna. Not always qualifying too well, but was able to pull back through the races to take, well, quite a lot of the time at the start of the season, a podium. But more towards the end of the season, it was decent points, top sixes at least.
Yeah, a lot of fourth, fifth ones, but yeah. So I don't think he turned up much in qualifying. I do remember that didn't turn up too often, but in the race did make a lot of overtakes and I guess was able to um in the race uh do some good comebacks.
Yeah, quite a lot of comebacks for Senna. I mean, Carlo as well was getting a couple of those votes, but it wasn't enough to see him get it. Um, it would have been a couple podiums for both the drivers, and they were pretty good, I would say. But being separated at the very end by 1 point, a single point, and if it wasn't for Noah's penalty in Brazil, it would have been tied, and it would have been Carlo to be in front. But in the end, it couldn't have been. It was too late to finish it all off. But after that, you had best individual performance, and this would have been, say, you qualify really low in the race, but then you would have pulled it back. Sorry, you would have qualified really low before the race, and then you pull it back to take a high point in the race, and that would have been Tristan's 2 to 7 to 1 being P2 on the grid, getting a 5 place grid penalty in qualifying, but then even after a couple of safety cars, he was able to come through and take the win. Maybe someone such as Raf would not like to vote for that one. But other than that, you then had the other votes being Harrison's dominant race in Spain. You had my race being P11 to last by at least 10 seconds due to a spin on the first lap, and then I got back to P5. Only had one vote for that. Wasn't myself, by the way. I did not vote on any of these, so don't come at me. And then the other ones you had were Sphinx and Abu Dhabi. He didn't actually get any of the votes for it, so a little bit unlucky for him being on pole position from no lap set in the final 2 minutes of qualifying, but then on to take a dominant win, also denying Noah from taking a championship. But then the final one that you had was Martin's Brazil race, P14 on the grid to almost being lapped, and then coming back to take P8. in the race after safety car 2, and the conditions changing.
Yeah. So I had Wi-Fi issues, obviously, in Singapore. So, but I was able to see the end of the race, and Chad was able to pull off a late move to the inside line. So I
And you're
guess a very
still
good.
calling him Chad.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get used to it.
You
Just
won't
a
be
minute.
used to
I'm not
that
getting
for a
used.
little bit.
I am not gonna get used to
But
that.
anyway, we'll go on to the last award, and then we're going to get into quite a lot of, well, what other drivers would want. This is not an award that most drivers would care about, but it's best staff member, and I think we can move on for that after seeing everyone. So I'll just say this now, Carlo, I won more awards than you. We'll move on now. We'll move on. Yep, we'll move on. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the grid now, and this is going to be the time where you're picking your cars for the season with your teammates. This is why we need everyone in the stream from both grids to decide what car they want, and it is time to see the grid. The grid for this season in Tier 1, it's going to be myself alongside Phil. It's going to be Carlo alongside Frame. It's going to be Sene next to Noah. You've got Charlie and Raf. You've got Tristan and you've got Harrison, those two teammates from season 3. By the way, Akon, he is in the stream. He is just not commenting in the chat. And then you've got Sphinx and Bill again for the season. You've got Kyle and you've got Pal, otherwise known as Yak. You've got Waldo and Elias, apparently the two fastest drivers for this season. So you never know
Mm.
what could happen though. You've got Akon and you've got Martin, and then the final pairing is Ollie and Freddie. Ollie, a driver that we've seen for a season or two, but then you've got a Freddie, a new driver that I have known for a little bit. So yeah, I will go into the car picks in just a little sec. I'll have to jot them down somewhere as well. But the reserves for Tier 1, it's going to be JJ, it's going to be Napula, it's going to be Logan, and it's going to be Arrow. Arrow just joining last night, being able to take a reserve spot before the intro happened. But I think it's time to do the car picks.
Exciting times.
Yeah. So, you have to go to the spin wheel. This is why we're going to need everyone, well, in the stream. Hang on, I'm going to send out a ping. Pinging them now saying, join the stream. It is time for the car picks. And this is, well, where some people could get annoyed by what you're picking. So I'm going to get up. Note to my phone before we start this off. We also need some drivers to come and join the stream. So first one is going to be, we'll spin the wheel and then you'll decide what car you want. And we'll go from there. So the first teammate pairing to be able to pick a car, and it is going to be. Oh, this is anticlimactic, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna move on from that. It's somehow myself. I do not think he is here. I've also not meant to spin it again. If you give me 1 second, I'll actually message him. Yeah, you're gonna have to give me 1 sec. I'm not too sure if his phone's actually on or not, but a little bit anticlimactic. Would be a lot better. By the way, Carlo and Fian, there is no point in you picking yet. It is not done. Storm, I can see you. You want the wrong card again. I'm not even surprised. But for now, I'm just gonna skip that because I already know what car we are picking, and that would be McLaren. We've already decided this before. I wanted to make sure. Um, but the second one is going to be to pick their cars. It will be barely over, but it is going to be Sphinx and Bill. I'm not too sure from the stream. If they are, please pick the car that you two want. If not, we'll move on from that. I'm not too sure if they are in the stream.
Yeah, might not be.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit annoying because I can't see them in the stream. I at least don't know that they're in the stream because I've gone on and checked. But we're going to have to move on from that. Unfortunately, they are not here, so we're just going to close this for now and pick someone else. And it will be Sene and Noah. So I know Sene's here, and we'll let him decide for his team. Aston Martin for another season. I'm not even surprised, but I will give you it. Okay, so that's been picked. We'll remove it, and we'll move on to the next one. That was pretty quick, so that helps a lot. And it will be Ollie and Freddie. They are not here, that I am aware of at least. So we're going to have to move on for now. I'm aware of, they're at least not here, so we'll have to move on for now. Spin it again. Who is it going to be is the real question. Elias and Waldo. Pretty sure he was in the stream. What car this time?
Oh, Bill's in the Discord now.
Yeah, he's now in the Discord. So, Elias, what are you picking for your team? You'll be the one to decide it all. Do need to answer pretty quickly though, because I need to move on.
Intense.
Ferrari.
Intense week.
Okay, so we'll move on from that one. I've seen your message, and we'll move on to the next one.
I finally might be commentating over a Ferrari winning. Yay.
You never know. So, Sphinx and Bill, I've also may have asked. I think Bill has joined. But I do need the answer this time around. Is he here or not? Not too sure. I'll give him until 40. If not, we'll move on to someone else. You're here. Could tell it is you because of the account. Okay, car pick. Yeah, I realize it's you, don't I? Need your car pick for this season. Not answering, so we're going to have to move on. Carlo and Flame, you're not last. Do you need your car pick? Mercedes. Okay then. Both of you said Mercedes pretty quickly as well, so we can easily move on. Slight problem, I also have got to add someone on the wheel. We'll ignore that, but we'll move on again. And it is... Right. No, it's not going to be right now. Ollie and Freddie are not here, so we'll move on from then again. And it is... It's Ollie and Freddie again. I'm moving on them. I can't be arsed. For now, I cannot be arsed. Raph and Charlie. I think Raph may have been in stream. The real question is he now? But I will go and ping Charlie.
Yes.
He is here. Williams. Okay then. So it's been what you have decided for your team. And we'll move on from that one, and it is going to be next. Martin and not go on. But I already know what their card pick is in Salvatore. So I can easily move on from that one. And we've got only 3 left to pick. It's going to be Kyle and Paul. So Kyle and Yak, I think both are here. I know Kyle has said he's going to message me on Discord. I know Yak's in the stream. And you're going to go Red Bull. So I'll get that marked down. I just need to work. And then you've only got 2 more to pick, but it's going to be 1 more for now. Sphinx and Bill. Is Bill back in the stream? Is he still here? And the choices that are left are... Well, Alpine, that was a quick one for you. So, can move on. So, it is Olet, Tristan, and Harrison. The side, there's... Quickly, and then I can just get rid of that one. We'll open the next tab up, but hoping this actually hasn't broken itself, and we're gonna go on to that one. And I have a feeling it has unfortunately messed up, so I'll have to sort it out in a second. You'll just need to give me 1 second to fix this. But it'll be, since you are on the tier 2 grid, it'll be easier for you to pick for me. You know?
Yeah.
A lot faster. It probably, would help if it didn't break, but for now, I'll also move on to the next slide, and there's the tier 2 grid. For some reason, I accidentally had the wrong one up. And I'll let you go ahead with that if you can see it on the stream. Hopefully you can, and I'll let you talk about that one because it is your tier that you're racing.
Yeah, just going to be a tiny bit delayed, but that's going to be fine. So we do have Storm and Adam together, and then we have Ben and 40 who are going to be together as well. Then Mojojo, who moved up to tier 1 but going back to tier 2 for this season, and then he'll be alongside Carter. Then you have me alongside Captain. I didn't really know anyone in this grid, so first time I'm going to be being teammates with Captain, so it's going to be exciting to see. Just waiting the wheel to be completed. Hold on.
Yeah, I have completed the wheel. For some reason, the scenes aren't working properly. But as your grid for the season, calendars will be shown as soon as we finish with the car picks. I don't really know if we have exactly enough time to do all the car picks, but a lot of team changes now for tier 1 especially. But the other reserves for tier 2 are David joining for this season, and of course Logan, the one that I do know of. I know him very well, maybe also because he's my cousin. So I didn't exactly have to ask him what do you want to be. I already knew because of his schedule. But we'll move on to the car picks for tier 2. And the first one to be picking will be Majoja and Kado if they are in the stream. Real question, are they there? I will ping them. If they are talking in stream, please tell me. I do not see them here for now, so I think we're gonna have to move on from that one, at least for now. But then the next pick, it is yourself, oh me. So which car do you want for this season? I think this is an obvious pick. I think.
Do you want to go ahead and guess then?
I would have said Ferrari, but I think you would have gone back to your roots and said Alpine.
Well, I am going for Ferrari.
I was close. I thought you were going to go back to your roots and where you started everything out, but it was close enough. But anyway, we'll move on from that
I'll
one.
be staying with Ferrari.
I mean,
I'll be staying with
it was
Ferrari.
close. It was close. The next one then again will be Ben, and for 03, I think Ben, you're in the stream. What is your car pick for this season? Any but Ferrari. As I will say this. I'm pretty sure it is Carlo. No, it's not Carlo Flame. It is yourself, Captain, and Waldo and Elias and Ferrari.
I mean, yes, I'm with the fastest tier 1 drivers. Wonderful.
I mean, you never know. They are done because I've picked McLaren. So we'll move on to the next one. And it would be Jaden and Cheese. I can send Cheese a DM quickly. In theory, I probably could go and meet up with him right now, but due to it, Liam, I wouldn't exactly say that if I was you, because that's a little bit mean. But I'm pretty sure Cheese did also tell me he doesn't want any of the Mercedes power cars, so I'll let him choose quickly. I'm not too sure if he is here. Um, I will mark one down. I know what they want already. So for a little bit, well, I will just let them decide later on because we do not have enough time to do that. Hopefully this doesn't break everything. But it is time for the one thing that you've all been waiting for, and it is the calendar reveal. If you're someone like Charlie or me, Tristan, you've all seen this already.
Yes.
For everyone else, it is time. And here is your calendar for the season 4. We are going to be starting out in Zandvoort and we're going to make all the way round the world and then we're going to make our way back to Europe for Austria for the finale. I mean, what's your opinions on this calendar?
Well, a very good calendar it is, and a lot of interesting races. Some drivers did want Miami on the calendar, so Miami it has been invited.
Yeah, even I didn't want it, and I did eventually decide it with a couple of the other staff members. But we'll move on to the bigger graphic for you guys. Starting out in Zandvoort, then we're going to go over to Belgium, and then we're going to go to Silverstone to round out the start of the season. Then we're going to move all the way over to the US until the season breaks. You've got Canada, you've got Miami, you've got Mexico, and you've got Brazil, making your way from north to south that way. And then we're going to have the 2 week break for the Easter holidays. Not too sure if anyone celebrates that, but that is what's going to be happening. And then we're going to go to Australia. We're going to go all the way to the other side of the world. And then we're going to work our way back towards the west side, starting in, well, we did start in Australia already after the break, then we go to Singapore, Japan, then go to China, the one track that's not on any calendar this season for IRF1 due to it being COVID. And then you go to Abu Dhabi, you go to Jeddah, you go Portugal, Spain, it's Monza, if I'm right. If I'm right, it is Monza. I need to go back and check this in a sec. But then you go Hungary and Austria. Yes, it's not a season finale that we all want to have, such as Brazil or anything like that. But it's a season finale that we decided. And I don't care what your opinions are on it. It is being this way. But there was one more surprise for you guys.
Yes.
Nobody knows this. This would maybe be why there was a black profile picture of the server at the moment.
Well, I obviously knew.
You've known because I've told you. I have not
Yes.
shown you it. I have only shown 2 people, apart from myself, obviously, because I got it sent to me. But this is why the server profile picture at the moment has nothing. I have asked for a new logo to be created, and this is what has been made for us. New logo being made by Centric. I'd asked her a couple of weeks ago if she could maybe do something new. And this is what those basic designs I sent over turned out to be. Logo is the top right one, or the top one in general. The banner is the far left, and, well, the invite banner is the bottom right. I would like to know your guys' opinions on this, because I think they look perfect. I sent over basic designs and I got this sent back. I know you haven't seen these yet, but what are your opinions on that? He's
Yep,
good
I
still,
agree
yeah.
with. Yep, I agree with Flame there. Um, a very cool one, and like the FPRL on the steering wheel. So a very good logo that is, and the banners are also good as well.
Yeah, having Max, George, and Charles. I thought it was Carlos to start off with, but it is actually Charles. Didn't get confirmation on that because, well, obviously he is the hardest one to see, especially with the quality at the moment. I do apologise for it. I would have fixed it, but I didn't exactly realise. But other than that, that is what season 4 is looking like to be. A new FPRL, keeping the same colours as before, that red, that blue, and the purple. Going from the old design that we had of it being that wall to the new design of the modern racing. I think it looks good, honestly. I'm hoping it looks good, especially on the server.
Yeah.
But that is basically all we're gonna have time for today. But there was one final thing I would like to ask, chat. Season 4 predictions, what are they now? That is the real question I have. What's the season 4 predictions? Because we all know now that it's going to be a lot harder with more drivers in. Flame Mode
Yeah, I think
Champion Carlo P18.
yeah.
You're dissing your teammate.
Yeah, I already know who I'm predicting for the championship.
You do? You want to show it?
Yeah, yeah, but I kind of feel like at the end of the season, when I look back at this, it's not going to be correct.
It's not going to age well. Well, I mean, your predictions have never
It,
been exactly on point, especially in the comments box. We're not talking about
two times,
yesterday.
2 times. Let's talk about yesterday a lot. All right.
Let's not talk.
Okay. Okay. I think this person will need to get a punishment if he doesn't make this true. But I'm gonna go for someone who has predicted themselves a champion in chat as well.
Flame.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be so wrong, but
That
I
was
don't
a
know why.
This is something that no one else has been able to see. But after you did all your sign-ups, what was I just saying, by the way? I can just completely lost focus.
Something about sign-ups and
Oh yeah. Um. Yeah, yeah. What sign-ups? No one else can see this, but every time you did your sign-up form, it would be sent over to the server, and it would come out in an embed. I would then go and put it into the Excel spreadsheet and see what the averages are. By looking at the averages, I know who's the fastest at the moment. Do I leak it or do I not? That is the real question.
Hmm.
Do I leak who the fastest was and who the slowest was of tier 1? I won't go into tier 2 because that's a little bit different, and some people, well, didn't exactly couldn't had faster times in tier 1, but yeah. Okay, so you want the fastest and the slowest. Obviously, some people
This is
don't
it.
practice setups on it, but I will say this. The fastest man in tier 1, it was Elias with like an average of 16.9. Now, everyone else's averages in tier 1 could have been, if I'm right, it was 17. I think some of the fastest were 17.4s to 17.8s, if I'm right. I can actually pull up the exact thing. It was a 16.8. It wasn't even a 16.9. 16.8. I won't link the other times of it. I won't link those 3 time trials, but that is your average. Other than that, if I can remember, who was second fastest? Yes, I do remember who it was now. It was Waldo, also known as Kerbo. He was second fastest with a 16.1. Mind you, they are teammates for this season.
Where was Flame? I need to know that one.
Well, it's Flame.
You can DM me if you want.
Nah. He wants to know where he was, I'm pretty sure. So I will tell him. I don't know position, but I will say this. He has a worse average than me.
Am I allowed to change my prediction, please?
If you would want. Hey Adam.
Well, I definitely need to go.
Sorry. Adam, I will tell you later on what car you've got. I'll just tell Storm. Don't worry about that. If you want to change as well, I can change it mind slightly. But other than that, he had a 17.85. My average was a 17.79. Would you like to change your prediction by any chance?
Yeah, I'm going for Chad. Or let's say Tristan. There we go.
17.4.
I'm still gonna stick with that. I think.
You're gonna stick to that?
Yeah, I feel like there'll be like maybe some attendance factors in it, and I don't know. I just feel like something like there might be some yeah.
Real question now for everyone. Do you want to know who the slowest of tier 1 was?
Well, actually, I'll just add this. I was faster than I think. My average was faster than I think. The average of tier 1, wasn't it? Something like that.
You're faster than a couple of drivers. Okay. Liam, you're dissing your own teammate here. That is mean. But yes, I will say no. It was Pal. Who was the fastest in tier 2 and the slowest? Oh, you want that now? Okay then. So, this is actually gonna be really confusing because I've got quite a lot of people not in the right order. But if I am right, the fastest in a tier 2, if I can find it, you have to give me 1 sec because I do have quite a lot of drivers in this. If I have got this marked down right, I'm pretty sure that the fastest in tier 2 is Cheese with a 17.7. That's a little bit faster than mine, mind you. But he wanted to do Sundays anyway, so I'm not going to force him to do Mondays. Not Mondays, sorry, Saturdays. But then you want the slowest in tier 2 as well, do you, Storm? I'll let you know now, it's not you. Is that good enough for you? I think as
Is it
well.
me?
It's not you. It is not you at all.
Alright, perfect.
Pal, you are not slowest than the slowest tier 2 driver. The slowest tier 2 driver was at least 1.1, mind you. So don't worry about that. But I will say this now. I'll say one more average. Storm, I actually have no clue where you're placed overall. I think you're like 4 tenths behind Adam, but then I would have to move out all the other results for it. It gets really confusing. Storm, I'll just send you the spreadsheet later if I really have to, and you can look yourself. Because it takes quite a lot.
Who was the
But
slowest?
in tier 2, um, yeah, we can move on. Don't worry. Not you, at least.
Okay, good.
Not someone who's in chat, I will say that. They are not in chat right now, and I don't even think they're even online on Discord. I haven't really seen them online quite a bit. But I think that's going to wind it off. Unless anyone would want to jump into the VC right now and do an interview for their season 4. Storm, my cousin is actually not slowest. I will say this. My cousin is faster than Pal.
Yeah, I remember having some duels with him actually.
Yeah.
It too.
But if some people want to join interviews, go into the general VC right now. Otherwise, I think that'll do it. And I mean, like, ASAP, because we have already gone over that 1 hour limit that I did kind of set myself. But yeah, jump into the general VC right now. I'll move you down into the common VC and we'll ask you a couple questions. And yeah. So, yeah, first one. You should have perms to talk here. You can hear us now. You might also want to mute your stream so you do you don't need to talk about all that. If need be, I will start a stage and then I'll just call people up to talk. You'd have to give me a little bit though. Give me 1 sec, please. Yeah, I know you're in the VC. I'm just trying to do one thing. You should be able to speak now. Just unmute when you are free. And then you'll be asked a question or two about the new season. But yeah, you're in the VC. Just unmute now, and then you should be fine. If not, we're gonna move on. Yes, there you are. You should be able to talk as well now. If not, let me. Storm, you should have probably told me about all this before. It should be fixed now, by the way. So you should be able to talk without push to talk on. Yeah, try now, Yak. Just talk. When you're muted. I think it should be working. I'm not too sure. Yeah, due to a little bit of issues, I don't know what's going on. But that will do us for the season 4 intro, I'd say. Any words for yourself before we end this all off? I'm not too sure if you're even still in the VC.
Oh, I am. Don't worry. 1 second.
Any
But yeah,
final words to
number
do
one,
with us?
hopefully I maintain my tier 2 championship, get a second one.
Good.
Then I am better than most tier 1 drivers on stats. Okay.
You never know. But you will be
And
on for the tier 1 comms this season. It'll be myself on for tier 2. And the real question is, who's being the season 4 champion this time around in FPRL? That will do us all for tonight. We'll see you all next Saturday. First race of season 4. We're going to Zandvoort. And we'll see you all then. Goodbye and good night for now.